Okay, it was inevitable. I had to make a device out of the movement analysis thing, the AirPunch. So here we go. We have the AirPunch Deluxe, which is way better than the normal AirPunch because it's got the words Deluxe written on it, right? So, it's a big device because it's got lots of things to do. And it's made out of glass, so I hope it can associate it with the air. That's the idea. So it's an AirPunch thing. In what way is it an AirPunch device? Well, it sends triggers. That's all it does. Trigger for the left controller, right controller. And it sends them and punch the air like this. You can see them light up. Left controller, right controller. Nothing's happening because I've got this toggle off. Switch it on, and so if you haven't seen any video of me talking about this device while I was developing it, it's I'm not punching, I'm not hitting anything. It's not this. It's no hidden pad or anything. It measures the force, the weight of my movement. Yeah, so. And I've got a couple of controls here, cooling off times. If I set this really low, then you get this sort of machine gun effect. Set it really high. You have to wait a little bit before it is usable again. The other thing is sensitivity, so if I set it low, then that's barely a punch. Set it very high, I really have to punch it. And the same for left controller, right controller, right? It can be controlled separately. Travel sensitivity is basically, this one doesn't have so much of an effect. I mean, it does have an effect, but not, this is the more important one. This basically is just how far you punch. So we'll trigger more easily, in theory, that way. Whereas here I have to punch, I have to punch so far that I can't actually do it. Right. So yeah, that's the idea. Oh, did I switch it off? Yeah, I have. Right. So yeah, you can experiment with these, but probably I think these are not that useful. They do have an effect, you know. So this is probably what I would mostly adjust. And so behind this is this movement analysis block, which I showed in several other videos, so I'm not going to go through it again. And that does some sort of scaling. So I noticed that sometimes when you restart, or if you have a moment of inactivity, then it does reset, I think. So suddenly it's more sensitive or less sensitive. So you may have to play with this a little bit even while you're using it, or when you save the world and you come back to it, it may behave differently. I noticed that before. Nothing I can do about it. This is built into that device. So it's meant to somehow auto-scale, and I think it's got something to do with that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, play with that if you find that it doesn't trigger. I mean, you can see what happens. You can see the signal, right? So you can see whether it's sensitive enough. And it is in the usual Frank's device island, or wherever it's going to move to soon. Spaceships or whatever. I don't know yet. But for the time being, it's here. You can get it here. All right.